Hello, this is Richard Amoroso, member of the first violin section of the Philadelphia Orchestra. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how I do my job. A little bit behind the scenes action of what I go through each week and how how the sausage is made, as they say. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So in a typical week like this week, we have 3 concerts and 4 rehearsals, and this week is no different. Lots of times we have music that I've played before, and for example, this week we're playing Brahms Piano Concerto No. 1, and I've played that several times, so that's nothing I'm going to stress out about. However, we also have new pieces, and in this particular week, we have 2 new pieces, and in this video, I'm going to focus on this piece called Pretty by, her name is Julia Wolf, and this is a piece I've never seen before. I looked yesterday that the first rehearsal wasn't on that rehearsal, but it was on today's rehearsal. And I'll basically go through what I did today and how I prepared for this rehearsal. Now, if it's something really difficult, lots of times word will get around and say, you better take a look at this. But this piece wasn't necessarily anything that was extremely hard. However, there's always something in a given piece, no matter what it is, that we have to look at. Maybe it might be just a couple lines, it might be 4 lines, or it might be who knows. But generally speaking, what I will do is I will look through the music, and I did that yesterday, given that I knew I had to play it today. And there was nothing on there necessarily overly sort of dramatic or very technical. Most of it was things I knew I could do. However, there were a couple places in this part, namely one that I went through with my stand partner. So before the rehearsal, I got there about a half hour earlier, and I went through a couple spots. And I'll basically play through a little bit of it and tell you what I did. So there are a couple lines here at measure 251 that I put in some fingerings. Why? Because it has F sharp and then F sharp, F natural, and I'll put in a couple fingerings just for those couple measures, because if I don't, I might be caught off guard. And I just know that if I see those visual cues, I'll most likely get through it. So I went through this with my stand partner. We played through it a few times and we pretty much got it. And you can listen to the recording, the first time that I played through it with the orchestra, first reading. So as you can see, it wasn't so horrible. I got through it okay. It wasn't perfect. However, I didn't necessarily stick out or do anything traumatic. After playing through it the second time, I even asked my stand partner, what did you think? And she had some sort of comments. Maybe you kind of rushed a little bit, or you were trying too hard to play every note. You might be better off just trying to fit in. These are very constructive comments that I get from my stand partner. And I really appreciate it because it makes me play that much better. The other thing that I really like now is that I get the opportunity to tape myself and really listen critically to what I just had done. I do this regularly now, and it really does make me better sort of in terms of my preparation and how I participate with the orchestra. It keeps me accountable, which is really important. And tomorrow, I'll definitely be that much more prepared for the dress rehearsal and concert tomorrow night. All that being said, there's lots of moments in here where my sight reading ability definitely carries me. So for example, this moment here at measure 388, some of those accents are tricky, and being able to kind of play that, solidly and get it the first time probably is not so easy for some, but given my experience with the orchestra and sight reading experience, that's not too bad. However, I will look at it at least once just to make sure. One other part that was a little bit sort of caught me off guard was here at 418. So this wasn't easy, but I just put in a couple little bowings to help me kind of visually see what I had to do, just to make sure that I was on top of whatever part that was a little unsettling. And as you can see, when I played through it, even the first time, it wasn't so bad, but the second and third time, I know I will be prepared for just those little moments. So all in all, I feel very prepared for tomorrow's dress rehearsal and concert, having done this work. And this is sort of typical of each week. Now, some weeks, again, there might be pieces that might be even that much harder, that might be more demanding, that I will spend some time even when I get home in the afternoon, like today, and being more prepared for tomorrow's rehearsal and performance. But this is, like I said, I looked before yesterday and I kind of knew what I had ahead of me. So that's part of also sort of the experience factor. So stay tuned. I'm going to be putting much more content up on YouTube. Let me know if you have any comments or anything you'd like to know about my preparation and how I kind of get ready for each week, or what other kinds of things I do to kind of stay fresh and stay sort of prepared on my violin. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.